When zooming in, you'll start to notice splicing features added to the map. Those are on by default. When zooming in, you do have the ability to click on a splicing attribute. You will notice that in this case it brought back 5 results because it's also grabbing. Depending on where you click, it may grab other features. In this case, it grabbed other fiber cables. You will also notice now in areas where the splicing has been done, been received and updated into the GIS, you'll notice now that the fiber cables have been given a unique identifier. In this case, this one is GAFC 1406. And so for the time being, these are being given unique identifiers utilizing the state fiber cable. So GA is the abbreviation for Georgia, FC is the feature, which is fiber cable, and then a unique ID after that. And really the unique ID at this point is just being used for this process of building the initial splicing attributes in the GIS. You also have that being given to the splice closures as well. In this case, it's state initials, GA, feature, splice closure, number. So by clicking on the splice closure, you can access the splicing documentation. I'm going to show you 2 things here because a lot of your browsers may not be set to auto open this file. It's an Excel document. It is the outside plant standard splicing document that they have come up with that we're utilizing for this. So by clicking on more info, you will download the file or open it up automatically depending on if you have your settings in place. If it doesn't open automatically, using your Google Chrome browser, you can just hit this drop down and say always open files of this type, and I'm not going to open it. I'm just going to go back and click on it again so that you can see how it opens right up in Excel. And so you're physically downloading this whenever you're clicking that, which means that you can just save this out to your local desktop if you'd like. However, if every time you're wanting to utilize this, you're going to want to go back to the GIS because the splicing documents are now updated. So if somebody submits an as-built or a map correction, they are now required in the areas where we have splicing information, they are now required to submit the splicing documents, the standard splicing documents with it. So you're going to want to make sure that you've got the most up-to-date. So how you use this is splice closure 1199, go back to your sheet, click on splice closure 1199, and that's going to link you to the splicing document. Again, this is the outside plant approved standard document in their format. And so you'll notice that the fiber cables are given those unique ID numbers. So this is 1512 over here. And you'll notice if you scroll over, 1512 right here. If I were to look at other numbers, that's 1500 right there, or 1406, or 1506 right there. And so if I wanted to see what was coming from 1512 and going to 1406 into this building right here, or past that building right here, it doesn't look like anything's going into that building, but if I wanted to see what was coming from here to here, I would just simply go back to the document and look at 1512, which is over here. And if I wanted to expand that, 1512, it looks like it's a 48 count fiber, and it looks like we're only using 10 of the 48 count fibers in Bobby Grunfield. So if we wanted to see where this guy was headed, we could say, okay, where in this splice document are those two going? It looks like they're going to 1406, and they're on those 2 fibers. And so if I go back to the map, 1406 is right there. So if I selected that guy, you can see that it's going to that splice. So 1512, those 2 cables in 1512. Fibers 23 and 24 in 1406 are going to fiber cables 1 and 2 in 1406. Or no, 1406, 1 and 2 and then 23 and 24 in 1512. So this is how you can access the splicing documentation at this time. You will see splicing documentation by clicking on the splice closure, and if there's a link there, that means that we now are updating that network.